is there a relationship between compliance and integrity? Many of you said compliance is to comply with rules. And indeed, that was the original meaning, or is the meaning of the term compliance. That means compliance with rules, internal rules, external rules, and regulations. All rules and regulations, not only anti-bribery rules. So, what are rules? What are norms? They are the basic level of integrity you have to observe in a society in order to make it work. As we see many, many rules being broken all the time, all over the place, especially in the financial industry. So the term of compliance is evolving, and it's coming to integrity. So many companies are now starting to change their programs' names and their departments' names from compliance into ethics or compliance into integrity, because they did notice only trying to comply with minimum standard is risky. It doesn't work. And there's another principle at work. We are living in an ever more globalized world where our behavior is known to everybody. We are transparent. We can't hide anything. So when you, on one hand, you can't hide things and everybody knows how you deliver on your promises, your brand promises, your marketing promises, whatsoever. And on the other hand, it's every day more difficult to differentiate your service and products from others. The only differentiation possible is the how we behave, how our reputation is. And that's only possible through integrity and better behavior. It's reputation at the end of the day. It's how we make business is to some extent at least that important than what kind of business we are doing. No? Therefore, the phrase outbehaving leads to outperforming. So, what are the drivers for compliance? There are basically three, being one, ethics. Ethics is a tricky word. Nobody really knows how to define it. For more than 2,000 years they're trying to do that now, and they couldn't come up with a comprehensive definition. Nice try. I have too many cables. So, nice try is to say something legally mandatory plus something morally mandatory plus something morally desirable. But what do you do with this when you have to make a decision? Nothing. It doesn't really help you. Therefore, there are little helpers. Do you know the mother's test? Imagine when you're making a decision, imagine to talk to your mother and telling her the decision you are about to make. And if you imagine that she reacts positively, it will be okay. If you imagine that she is not reacting positive, you better don't do it. Is that okay? What do you think? It's a good test for ethics?
Probably works.
Yeah? But your mother most probably very generous with you. Mothers tend to be generous with their sons, not so much with their daughters, but with their sons. So there's another level, and your wife comes into play. Ask the same question, but not as the mother's test, but as the wife's test. They are normally more severe with you, and it's a better test. Other ones are the newspaper test. Do you want to see the newspaper tomorrow? Or more philosophical, Kant, do you want that your behavior is turned into a social norm? Do you want everybody to behave the same way? These are the tests for ethics, therefore difficult but important in order to get right the values, and these three tests are easy to perform every time you have to make a decision. The other one's risk management, by far the most important driver for now, because risks are rising and risk management is evolving from pure financial to enterprise risk management, where you have modules for business model, country risks, business partner risks, compliance risk, your compliance problem, etc. That's all coming in. And competitive advantage. Is it a competitive advantage to be an ethical company, whatever that means? Hopefully. There are some organizations trying to show that. Ethisphere, a North American think tank, they are every year selecting the 100 most ethical companies worldwide. And then they compare their financial performance with the performance of the Standard & Poor's average. And they always come up with a positive gap of about 9–10%. Difficult because it brings you again back to the question, what is an ethical company? Most of the companies Tom wouldn't like to work for are in the list of non-ethical companies, but maybe they aren't unethical, only that Tom doesn't like them. The real point with competitive advantage is what I said before. It's very difficult to differentiate your products and services, and therefore the how you do business, how you perform business gets more important. So your reputation is a competitive advantage. Your reputation is at the client's desk before your sales representative comes there.